Question number fourth. One fair coin is tossed 4 times. The probability that 2 head and 2 tail will appear is. Now if we say a coin is tossed only once, we'll get only 2 events in the sample space, which is going to be head or a tail, right? It can be done in 2 ways. Now if a coin is tossed twice, it will result in 4 events, because first HT, TH, HH and TT. The first coin can be tossed in 2 ways. There are 2 possibilities. Second coin can be also tossed in 2 ways. There are 2 possibilities. By fundamental principle of counting, there will be 2 into 2 or 2 square, that is equal to 4 possibility. Similarly, if I say a coin is tossed 3 times, there will be 8 events in the sample space, and typically the events are going to be, we have HHH, we have HHT, we have HTH and we have THH. These are the events in the sample space, TTH and THT and HTT and TTT. Why? Let's see in a very simple way. When a coin is tossed once, it will have 2 outcomes. It can result in a head or a tail. Sample space will contain only 2 outcomes. When a coin is tossed twice, it will result in 4 outcomes. First coin can be tossed in 2 ways. Second coin can be also tossed in 2 ways. So 2 into 2, 2 is square, that is equal to 4 outcomes. And when a coin is tossed 3 times, the sample space will include 2 cube, or basically 8 outcomes. So when a coin will be tossed 4 times, it will, first coin can be tossed in 2 ways, second in 2 ways, third in 2 ways, fourth in 2 ways. Altogether there will be 2 raised to the power 4 possibilities. So total outcomes will be 16. Total sample space will contain 16 outcomes. So there is no need of writing all the outcomes here. We know a coin is tossed 1, 2 outcome. It is tossed twice, there are 2 square or 4 outcomes. It is tossed 3 times, it will be 2 cube or 8 outcomes. When a coin will be tossed 4 times, the sample space will contain 16 events. Out of these 16 events in the sample space, we need 2 head and 2 tail. So how it will result in a head or a tail? We need 2 head and 2 tail, which is basically, which we can do, we need 2 head and 2 tail. So first and second can result in a head, first and third can result in a head, first and fourth can result in a head. First, second, first, third, first, fourth have been done. Now let's begin with second. Second and third can be head, second and fourth can be head, and third and fourth can be head. So we have got 2 head, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 2 3, 2 4 and 3 4. So all possible ways have been included in which we can get 2 head, and as we know, we need to get 2 head and 2 tail. So this is tail, 2 are tail. So 2 head and 2 tail can be basically done in 6 ways. Possibility of getting 2 head and 2 tail is 6. 6 is the favorable chances. Favorable chances for getting 2 head 2 tail is 6, and we know total chances, the sample space will contain 16 events. Coin is tossed 4 times, 2 raised to the power 4, 16 outcomes will be there in the sample space, that is equal to 3 by 8. Otherwise, if we look at it, there was no need of doing all this, and the question could have done directly in shortcut way, as we know there are 16 outcomes. So the sample space will contain 16 outcomes, and getting 2 head and 2 tail will mean out of 4 chances which we are playing, 2 should result in a head. 2 should result in a head. 4C2, out of 4 chances I am selecting 2 chances which should result in a head, so which can be done in 4C2, and there is no need of selecting the other 2 have to be necessarily tail, because we need 2 head and 2 tail. We have already selected 2 heads. So 4C2 is the in which 2 chances head will appear. It can be done in 4C2 ways. 4C2 by 16, that is 6 by 16, which is still equal to 3 by 8, is one way of looking at things. Or other way is the binomial expansion, which we say 4C2 4C2. Out of 4 chances, which 2 chances should result in a head? We are selecting the chances 4C2, and the probability of getting first head is half and the second head is half. So we have selected which 2 chances which were done in 6 ways: first and second, first and third, first and fourth, and second, third, second, fourth, third, fourth. This is what we are doing. 4C2. There are 6 ways in which 2 head can result, and this is probability of getting a head, and this is probability of getting a second head, and remaining 2 chances, both there are 2C2 is 1, so necessarily the remaining 2 chances should result in a tail. 2C2, the probability of getting a tail is half, and the another tail is half, which is again, this is 6, this is again 1, and 1 by 4 is 16, that is again equal to 3 by 8. So it's a very simple question. We even need not to go to binomial expansion, we can directly solve it. There are, a coin is tossed 4 times. So if it is tossed 4 times, there will be 16 events in the sample space. I have already explained. There will be 16 events in the sample space, and out of those 16 events, overall events in the sample space, how many chances are there in which 2 head and 2 tail will appear? So there are 4 chances which we are playing. Out of 4 chances, we should select 2 chances which should result in a head, which can be done in 6 ways. 4C2 ways. Out of 4, we are selecting 2 chances which should result in a head, which can be done in 4C2. 4C2. We have selected 2 chances which will result in a head, and there is no need of, because both the 2 chances should result in a tail, so there is no need of selecting it, because once we have selected 2 head, necessarily the other 2 have to be in tail. This is 6, 4C2 is basically 6 and 2C2 is 1, and overall sample space, these are favorable chances. 4 out of 2 should result in a head, and total chances are 16. The sample space will have 16 outcomes, so which is 6 upon 16 or 3 by 8. Favorable chances upon total chances. The question can be done merely like this: 4C2, chances of selecting 2 head, then necessarily other should result in a tail, so which is 6. This value is 6, and sample space will contain 16 outcomes. So 6 upon 16, that is equal to 3 by 8 is the answer, which is option.